So, with win projection per team, um, generally they're never right, but I like them in terms of anytime you make a list, anytime you create a statement, you put something out there, you create a conversation point, which is the whole reason we do any of this. So I love that part of it. It's like, why do we love college football? Because we get a preseason poll, we get a weekly poll. You will always get to argue with your friend on Monday. It's like, my team's better. No, my team moved up 3 spots. They're better. Your team lost to an unranked team. We love doing that kind of stuff, right? So as I was looking at preseason projections for USA Today decided to go with the bold statement of Patriots 16-0. And they literally started off in the most cliche way possible, which is, Brady's done it before. So let me, in my own way, explain why I think 16-0 for the Patriots won't happen. And I'll also give a reason why it could happen. So we're going to play both ends of the spectrum here. So if you are the Patriots, the easy thing to do is go and look at, okay, well, what's their schedule? Well, their schedule, they have about 6 games you would say are tough games. I think they're probably going to sweep their division because their division's hot trash. But you have, no disrespect to the Dolphins who just signed Jay Cutler, but that division's still hot trash. Wow, that's probably disrespectful. I said no disrespect and called them hot trash. You got week 1 against the Chiefs, week 3 Texans, week 7 Falcons, week 10 at Denver, week 11 at Oakland, Mexico City, and week 15 at Pittsburgh. Those games, obviously, the Chiefs going to be in playoff contention. The Texans, great defense, going to be in playoff contention, especially if they start Deshaun Watson. Falcons, obviously, should be in playoff contention, coming off the Super Bowl grudge match, wanting revenge. I'm always going to throw out Denver in there, especially with Brady, because that's the only team he has a losing record against. Mexico City, because Lord knows what happens in those games. We had last year a laser pointer. Like, if that doesn't show you how sketchy Mexico City games are, there was a laser pointer in Brock Osweiler's eye. And then at Pittsburgh, obviously, once again, playoff contention, my personal number 2 offense going into the season. And those are the tough games they're going to play this year. And you can look at it and say, okay, well, they could lose any one of those 6 games. And those are even some of their nationally televised games, right? Well, those are probably the games they're going to go 6-0, maybe 5-1 in. Because the funny thing about Tom Brady, if you go look at his last 4 or 5 losses, exclude Russell Wilson, he's lost to below average competition. Think about it. The year prior, and we'll throw this last year out because he was just man on a mission, angry at Roger Goodell, wanted to get back at everyone, saying a deflated football don't make me, and we're not going back into Deflategate. Go the year before, Brady's last 3 losses were to Ryan Fitzpatrick, Brock Osweiler, and a one-armed breaking down Peyton Manning, who had just got back from being benched. And if you look at the entirety of his career, Brady does very well. He has great records against Ben Roethlisberger, Aaron Rodgers, Manning. He has great records against other elite level quarterbacks. He kind of does so against average competition. So if you were to look at their schedule, you would say the Jets is a game they could lose. The Chargers is a game they could lose. The Bills is a game they could lose. Those are the kind of teams that he struggles with. And it's a really weird kind of struggle because his stats wouldn't show you that they struggle, but that team as a whole, just the cliche doesn't get up for every game. So if you're making a case for Brady, you're making the case that if you're making the case for them going 19-0, it's because they're still going to be motivated. And if Brady wants to put one final notch on anyone who would still debate if he's the greatest argument, going out 19-0 and getting number 6 is a hell of an argument, and you really can't go against that if you're trying to cement GOAT status. Reasons why they won't, like I said here, yes, you've got the tough games, but since their division is such hot trash, you give 6 games. Jay Cutler, I'm hit and miss on as far as if I wouldn't consider him a bad quarterback, but I wouldn't consider him a great quarterback or an elite quarterback. He's got 6 games he's been playing less than average competition, including not against their quarterbacks, but less than average teams in the Saints, Chargers, and the Panthers. Like I said, I think the Panthers are going to rebound, but based off last season, I'm not going to give them the assumption that they'll be better. So, do I think they will? No. And it's not because, like I said, not because of those games that are tough, but simply due to the fact of Brady has struggled against the lesser than average quarterbacks. Like I said, take out Russell Wilson, losing to Fitzpatrick, Osweiler, and a Peyton Manning who was benched, who was playing the worst of his career and was a game away from retiring. A Super Bowl away from retiring. Let's not forget that. But a game away from retiring. I had to get that last one in.